It's just, this is quick and dirty, guys. Let's see. And you want to wrap it right over top of the hole. About like that. And then what you do, go right over the top of that hole again. Kind of keep going all the way to the top. I know that looks terrible, but you'll see. And this is a little trick I just stumbled across to make everything easier. Get your bobby pin. Take that while still holding your cord. I know it sucks. Kind of feed that. Go into the hole with the bobby pin. Right through that right there. Pull. See how easy? You don't have to worry about fooling with the end of the cord trying to fish it through that hole. And you just wrap it around. I pull it tight. Just do your wrap around like that. And you want to do the same thing while holding everything still tight with your left hand. I know. Feed it through and out. Just pull. And just goes right through. And see, this way, I'll just continue to do that. I'll show you what I mean later. Just feed it through. And just do one side at a time. I know this is just messy looking, and like I said, it's just a quick and dirty version. Just give you an idea. Just feed it through the top. And when you get here, sometimes you'll have just a little space to where the cord, you don't really want to get too much of your cord here at the top. It'll look fat. So if you have one cord that'll fit over top of that little gap, just go ahead and do it that way. Don't worry about feeding the other cord through. Just take your bobby pin, fish it through. Want to make sure that's all going. The bobby pin's going right through the top of that knot. Just pull. Pull on through. And you have a really, see, you want to wrap this at the top of the middle of this hole, because you don't want any gaps or any stingray, ugly kind of stingray showing right here at the top. And this is your flat side. So what's going to happen over on this side, your grind side, you're going to have these two ends right here. And what you're going to do, see how that hole, you can still kind of see it between this diamond, you still see that hole. Now if you were to leave this, if you were to chop these off, that would look really bad. I mean, you would see the hole, you would see the stingray or the whatever cord wrapper you're using kind of exposed right there. And what I like to do, and the other guys don't do it this way, but this is what I like to do, is I'll take these two ends right here that are sticking out of the top of this knot, kind of pinch them, and you want to cut that off probably about an inch, I would say. Cut it off, go ahead and snip it off with a pair of scissors. I'm not going to do this because this cord's expensive and I want to hang on to it, but cut it off about right there, burn the ends, and then what you want to do, take your burnt ends and stuff them in that hole right there. And you can, I'm not going to do it, but you can see what I'm getting at. Stuff those two ends up in there. And what that'll do is that'll make a nice little knot. It's almost kind of like a traditional sword. The omote or yura or whatever you want to call it. You see, I mean, I'm not really doing it, but just stuff those cut off ends up under the wrap and inside of that hole. Sometimes the little ends will come through this right side, but don't worry about that. When you stuff those ends up, You know, it makes a nice little finished knot right there. And I think it looks pretty good with the, it'll usually end up on the grind side. If not, it's okay. It looks good on the other side too. But at that point, you want to just kind of get your epoxy. I use West System epoxy. You know, mix it, you know, however they want you to mix it. Just brush it on the handle with. I'll be right back. I'm going to get those. One of these. Just get you a pop can, cut the pop can in half. That's what I use. Mix your epoxy up best way you can. What I usually do is then you can find these at Walmart for like 100 of them for $1. What I do is I just dress these off. I'll chop them off with a pair of scissors. You know, make them fairly short. You don't want all the stiff or this loose stuff. You want it to be pretty stiff so you can kind of reach in the cracks of the cord, or you know, where the stingray meets the wrap. Just dress that off at an angle. Mix your epoxy with it. Just, you know, the only thing you have to do is just brush it on. You know, dip the epoxy, brush it on. Get it in between your diamonds if you have a nylon wrap underneath or something. And as you're wrapping, or as you're doing the epoxy all the way up the handle, the epoxy will make this look dry and won't look wet at all. It'll soak into the fabric, and you know, you probably can't even really tell that you put anything on it. I mean, it'll look just like this. That's why I like West System. The other epoxies kind of make it look a little bit shiny and wet. You don't want that really. A lot of guys just take the whole handle and dip it down in. No, I don't like that. Just paint it on. It doesn't take but a minute to do. And then you want to get the epoxy and paint it on all your surfaces, on the spine here, you know, around the pommel area, and make sure you get a whole big bunch of that on this knot and in this little crevice here. But that's pretty much how I do it. You know, I know this looks ugly, but hopefully that explained it for you, and hopefully I helped you out. Thanks, man.